Okay, now let's take a look at number 6 called median scores. Complete the function median score, which takes in a dictionary, student scores, that maps each test score to the list of students who earned that score, and returns the median score on the test. You may use the provided median function, which is shown here, which takes in an unordered list of integers and returns its median. The median is the middle value in an odd length ordered list, or the average of the middle two values in an even length ordered list. So before we do anything, before we take a look at the doc test, let's try to reiterate what this question wants us to do. So we're provided with this median function, which takes in a list of unordered integers. And in this problem, we want to find the median score on the test. So my guess is that we're going to want to make a list of all the test scores. And then we simply just want to find the median of that list. And we should be good to go. Okay, well now let's look at the doc test. So we're provided with D, which is equal to this dictionary. And then after we find the median score of D here, we get back 4. Then we set D equal to this new dictionary, and when we run median score of D here, we get 3.5. Okay, well, it doesn't really, these doc tests don't really tell us much. So let's actually look at the starter code instead. So we're provided with this all scores variable, which is instantiated to this empty list. My guess is that because we're provided with this empty list, we're going to want to add stuff to this empty list. And at the end, once it's not empty, we're most likely going to return the median of that list. Because remember, as we said before, we want a median of the list of scores. So I feel comfortable enough to put median of all scores here. Okay, let's look at the second line. We have this for loop for score and student scores. Now, let's assume that D in this case here was passed in for student scores. What this for loop will do is it will iterate over every single key in the dictionary. So our keys in this dictionary are 3 and 4. So in the first iteration of this for loop, score will be set to 3. Now we have students is equal to student scores of score. Now what students is being set to is actually the value of the provided key in the dictionary. So once again, if we assume that student scores in this case is the same dictionary D, and we provide 3 as a score, then we will get back the value of a list, which is this list, Bob and Sally. So for now, students is set to Bob and Sally. Well, now we have this score 3, and we have the number, or not the number, we have a list of students that actually scored this score. So we want to somehow add 3 2 times to our all scores list, because that way we can keep track of the students that earn 3 and however many students that earn 3. Well, how can we do that? Well, we can actually use a for loop here, which they already provide here. But in this case, what we'll fill in for it is for I in range length of students. Why? Because we'll iterate over however many values there are inside the provided dictionary with the key. So for example, if we put in 3, we're going to iterate over this list of Bob and Sally. And then if we're provided with the key 4, we'll iterate over Arun, Lars, and Ken. And you may ask why we want to do that. Well, by doing this, we can keep track of how many times we want to add our test score to our list. So simply put, all we have to do now is append the current score that we're using to all scores. And that's pretty much it. So to reiterate, what we did was we're going to iterate over the keys of the provided dictionary We will then look at every single value inside the dictionary to find out however many values earn that score. And because 2 students scored 3 here, what this will do is it will append, or my bad, what this for loop will do is it will append score of 3 2 times to the dictionary, or to the list, which is what we want. And then after the first loop, we will then look at 4, and we will then append 4 3 times because there are 3 students in the valley. And then we will find a median of that list, and we should be good to go. And yeah, that's pretty much it for problem number 6.